Are expense approvals slowing down your business? In this video, I'll show you how to use Fillout forms to submit expenses. You'll be able to have those expense requests get automatically sent to a manager, and from there, they can, on the click of a button, approve or deny the request or the reimbursement. Check it out. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Zach Stevenson. I'm a business process and no-code consultant. If you need help streamlining or automating any of your business processes, you can visit our website, InnerDevSolutions.com, or you can click the link in the description below to book a free consult. Last week, Fillout released their approvals beta. I expect in the next couple of months that there's going to be many enhancements. One feature that I know that is coming is tools like Airtable, Notion, SmartSuite. They will also integrate with this workflow. So when a request gets submitted or when an approval gets submitted, it will go into your database like Airtable, for example, and then based on the button that gets selected, whether it's approve, deny, and there's others that you're able to add as well, it will update accordingly in your database platform that you have it integrated with. This is just the beta, but it's already pretty good for some simple workflows. And I will show you one based off of an expense reimbursement that you can get started with. There's so many other ways to be able to use this workflow as well, built right into Fillout. You do not need any other tools. If you do not have a Fillout account already, there's a link in the description below to get started. As I mentioned, there's a lot of different ways you can use this. You can use it for expense requests, time off requests, purchase approvals, content publishing, for example. If you need to be able to get approval before you publish certain content across your company, there's all sorts of ways. Anywhere where you need to be able to approve, deny, or take some sort of action on a certain submission, you can do that with Fillout. We'll click this Make a Fillout button, and for now, we will just use a blank form. You can pick your theme on the left side, and you can create your form. First thing we need to do is label our form, so we'll just call this Expense Reimbursement Form. We'll just add the name. We will add the date range. So in this case, we will imagine that this is for an employee that's traveled on behalf of the company. We'll allow them to select a date range, and we can have them enter their email as well. We've entered a short answer, and we'll label this name. We'll have email, and then we'll have them submit a date range. Obviously, there's some other information that you could collect depending on what you need from your employees. As always, you can mark each field as required if needed. So you've got your settings panel down the right side. And then we're just going to keep this first page quite simple. And now we will add a second page, and this page will be our expense details. We can hit continue. And the first thing I'm going to add in is a long answer. And this will be expense items. Then on the right side, we can add in a placeholder. So we could do something like fuel and meals and hotel. This is just a placeholder text. As soon as you click into it and start typing, those details will go away. Second thing we want, I'm going to add in a currency field, and we'll just type in the total here. And on the right side or the right panel, you have a few options. There's different currency codes. You can actually even convert the currency. So if you allow users to enter the amount in one currency, you can have it converted to another. Last thing I'm going to upload or add is a file upload. And here we can do receipt upload, and that will allow the user to upload pictures or copies of the receipts and invoices that they get. We have an ending. I'll just leave this as is. There's been plenty of videos about customizing and adding to the end page. The more important step now is for us to go into this integrate tab at the top. Now we can go into workflows, and we are going to create a blank workflow. Go to this form submitted. We can label our workflow. I'm going to call this expense reimbursement. We'll click rename and go down to select an action. You can see the approval workflow is in beta. That's the one that I want to select. By default, there's a couple options here. We have approve and reject. If you want, you can add other options as well, but this is good enough for this tutorial. And the request approval, you can send an email, a Slack DM, or post it out to a channel if it needs to go to multiple managers or multiple users. I'm just going to leave it as email and send it to myself. The approver input, you can add additional notes or fields here if required. I'm not going to worry about that for this tutorial. I'll just close that one out. And then the notification email, I can go in and preview this if I want, but again, I'm just going to leave it as action required, approved submission. Whatever the default is that Fillout has created for us, I will just leave that as is. I can hit done. And now you can see we've got 2 different paths we can go down based off of the option that the manager selects. So on approval, we will want to send this to accounting. So we can go send email and we can select the drop down and we can manually enter an email. So it could be something like accounting at your company email or wherever or whoever it needs to go to. I'm just going to add in my general email address and insert that. So once a manager hits confirm or approve on an expense request, I will receive an email. Subject will just be expense approved or expenses approved. And we can maybe add in, I just hit the @ symbol. We can add in the name of the employee submitting the request. And if we click advanced, we have additional options here as well, but I'm not going to worry about that. Now you can send the email from Fillout directly, or you can integrate your email address. Go into the email tab to customize the email. So we can say, hi, accounting team, this expense form has been submitted or has been approved rather. And then we can add in all of the details, the name, the email, the date range. We'll put in items. We'll display our list of items here and the total. And because it comes through as a number, I'm going to add in the $sign. I'm going to hit @ again, and I will pass in the total here. I can hit done. Just drag this to the left side and a reject option as well. I will hit the plus icon. Again, you can integrate with this with Slack as well. I'm just going to use a send email. And then this one, I'm going to base it off of the email that gets submitted or added in the form. And then we can change this to need more info before approval. We can go into the email here. Again, we'll go hi, pass in the full name, and I will need some additional info before approving this request. Please contact me. Now, in this case, if I hit reject, then that way it will send an email back out to the person that submitted the response and they will contact me. You can set this up any way you want. You can maybe set it up so that you will contact them to be able to get the information that you need, but you get the idea of this workflow. I'll hit done here, and now you can see the 2 different paths based off of the option that the manager selects. So we can go in here, we'll hit publish. Now the workflow is live. I can go back and we'll publish the form as well. Now I'm just going to hit this button to open up the form and we can give this a shot to see how it works. We'll put in an example name, an email address, and a date range. Enter the date range of the trip, hit next, and then we can enter in our expense items, the amount, and obviously you could upload the receipts or the invoices as well, but I'm just going to hit submit here. Right after I hit submit, an email came to me and it shows action required, and I can quickly review what the total was. I can see the expense items and I can see who submitted it as well. And from here, I can go in and approve or reject. So I'll just click approve in this case. It will open up the page. I'll hit approve. And because I approved the request, it's going to go to accounting and display our account email that we set up here. It shows the total, the items, the date range, and who it needs to be paid out to. I'll just quickly demonstrate the reject button as well. I'll just enter in some information here and we'll click submit. I go back to my emails, we can see we had another submission. And in this case, I will click the reject button and I can click reject. And in this email, it says need more info before approval. So that's the 2 different paths. We click this edit workflow button. You can add other options as needed, and it does not have to end at just sending a Slack notification or email based off of each process. You can add more actions by clicking this little plus icon. So on the approval route, if you wanted to send a webhook somewhere, a Slack message as well to a certain group, you can add in filters and branches or other AI actions, really anything that you want to add to that certain workflow based off of the approve or reject, you can add in this workflows page here. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more tutorials in the future.